My name is June Coughlin. I'm 36 years old, and for most of my life, my unofficial job title in the family wasn't daughter. It was emergency fund. The Sunday everything snapped started with a car, a very red, very loud car. The Dodge Challenger was parked in my mom's driveway like a trophy. Bright red, gleaming, the kind of car that screams, "Look at me," to everyone on the block. I could practically smell the new car scent from my 10-year-old Honda Civic as I pulled up. I parked my faded, paid-off Civic next to it. The contrast wasn't lost on me. My younger sister, Tara, was leaning against the Challenger, arms crossed, grinning like she'd just won the lottery. "June," she called, pushing off the car. "What do you think? Finally got something nice for myself." I stepped out, shut my Civic door carefully, because the hinge creaked if you slammed it, and walked over. It was a beautiful car. It also looked like a financial crisis on four wheels. "It's very red," I said. "Come on," Tara laughed, brushing her long hair over one shoulder. "Admit it, it's sick. V6 engine, premium sound system, fully loaded." I studied her. 28 years old, part-time barista. Between opportunities for the last 3 years. Living in a studio Mom helped her pay for, and now she had a car that cost more than my entire retirement fund used to. "How much?" I asked, even though I already knew I wouldn't like the answer. 42, she said casually. Thousand. She dropped the number like we were talking about $42 at Target. "That's a lot," I managed. "Worth it, though," she shrugged. "I deserve nice things too, you know?" There it was, that sentence again. I deserve nice things too. Not I worked for this, not I saved for this, just deserved. Like my modest two-bedroom house and my paid-off Civic were some kind of hoarding of blessings. Like my stability was a personal attack. "Where'd you get the money?" I asked, even though my stomach already knew. Tara gave me a little smirk. Grandma's inheritance. Finally put it to good use. Grandma's inheritance. The $85,000 she'd left each of us when she died 2 years ago. I'd use mine for a down payment on my house. Put the rest in savings. Boring stuff. Invisible stuff. Stuff that kept you sleeping at night. Tara had, apparently, decided a Challenger was a better investment. "The whole inheritance?" I asked. She rolled her eyes. "Most of it. Like 38 for the down payment. The rest went to, you know." She waved her hand vaguely. "Electronics, new laptop, trip to Miami, living life." So she'd burned through $85,000 in 2 years, and the biggest, loudest remaining purchase was a car she probably couldn't afford to insure. "Insurance on that must be brutal," I said. For a second, just a second, her smile flickered. "It's manageable," she said quickly. I didn't push. Not yet. This was Sunday dinner, and if there's one thing my mom hates, it's drama in the driveway. We went inside. Mom was in the kitchen, surrounded by steaming pots and vanilla-scented candles, like always. Dad was in his usual spot on the couch, watching the game, silently gripping a beer he'd nurse all night. "June!" Mom wiped her hands on a dish towel and pulled me into a hug. "Did you see Tara's car? Isn't it gorgeous?" "It's very red," I repeated. "She worked so hard for it," Mom gushed. "Saved up everything." Saved. Right. If by saved she meant spent every cent of her inheritance on vibes, sure. I didn't say any of that. I just smiled, nodded, and swallowed the familiar sting. Dinner was fine. Pot roast. Mashed potatoes. Mom asked about my job, eyes already drifting back to Tara from time to time. Dad grunted approval when I mentioned my latest project. Tara talked about her car for 20 solid minutes. Horsepower, 0 to 60, sound system, how everyone at the coffee shop was jealous. I listened. I chewed. I said nothing. Because this was the pattern. Tara shines, Mom beams, Dad disappears, and I stabilize. After dinner, as Mom loaded the dishwasher and Dad disappeared back into the couch, Tara caught my eye. "Hey," she said softly, "can we talk outside?" My stomach tightened. I already knew what was coming. I followed her onto the back porch anyway. The air was cooler out there, the sounds of the game muffled through the walls. Tara leaned against the railing, pulled out her phone, and started scrolling. Like she was looking for the courage in some app. "So," she started, not meeting my eyes. "Insurance on the Challenger is kind of expensive." There it was. "How expensive?" I asked. She took a breath. $280 a month. I did the math automatically. 280 times 12. $360. Every year. Just for insurance. "That's pretty standard for a sports car," I said. "Yeah, I know," Tara said quickly. "And I can handle it. I'm a little tight right now. I was wondering if you could cover it for a few months, just until I get promoted at work." There it was again, that vague promotion, the almost manager, the opportunity that never seemed to arrive. What promotion? I asked quietly. They're opening a new location, she said. I'm basically guaranteed the spot. Tara had been basically guaranteed a lot of things the last 3 years. I looked at her, my little sister, who'd spent $85,000 in 2 years, who worked part-time. Who knew, absolutely knew, what my answer used to be? Not this time. Tara, I said calmly, I'm not paying your car insurance. Her head snapped up. It's just a few months. You bought a $42,000 car you can't afford to insure, I said. That's not my problem. Her face tightened into a familiar mask. Hurt, then anger, then contempt. Must be nice, she said quietly. Having money. Must be easy to say that. I felt something flare in my chest. I have money, I said, because I didn't blow my inheritance on a car I can't afford. Oh, here we go. She threw her hands up. Responsible June. Perfect June. June who makes all the right choices. I'm not saying I'm perfect, I replied. I'm saying choices have consequences. So you're not going to help me, she said flatly. No, I said, I'm not. She gave a bitter little laugh. Family, right? She pushed past me and went back inside, leaving the porch door to slam behind her. I stayed outside a few minutes, breathing, listening to the muffled sounds of the TV and clinking dishes. This wasn't new. The ask, the guilt, the subtle accusation that my stability was cruelty, but my answer was new. I said goodbye to Mom and Dad without looking for Tara and drove home in silence, past the red Challenger, glowing under the street lamp. At home, I changed into soft clothes, made tea, and sank into my couch. My head was buzzing, but my body felt strangely light. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Just one sentence. Help her or don't come for the holidays. I read it once. Twice. A third time. Not, what happened? Not, are you okay? Not even, can we talk? Just an ultimatum. Pay your sister's insurance or you're not welcome at Thanksgiving, at Christmas, at any of the gatherings where you've carved the turkey and washed the dishes and picked up the emotional shards for years. I stared at the words. My tea went cold in my hands. Help her or don't come for the holidays. They weren't even pretending anymore. I scrolled through old transfers in my banking app. Rent when Tara was between jobs. Car insurance after her last accident. Credit card debt. Emergency loans I'd never see again. $15,000 over the years. And now for saying no to another $840. I was disposable. Something in me didn't explode. It clicked. Quiet, clean. I didn't owe them my peace. I opened Mom's contact. Block this caller. Then Tara's. Block. Then Dad's, even though he never texted. He just co-signed Mom's decisions with his silence. Then the family group chat. Leave. Block. One by one, my phone got quieter. No speech, no dramatic rant, no 30-paragraph essay about boundaries. Just silence. I set my phone down and waited for the guilt to come. It didn't. I made a simple dinner, ate alone, put my plate in the sink, went to bed early. And for the first time in months, I slept like a rock. In the morning, my phone was vibrating itself across the nightstand. Not one notification. 52. Missed calls, voicemails, text previews from numbers I didn't recognize. Dad, Mom, Tara, Aunt Linda, cousins I hadn't heard from in years. The noise had started, but for once it was on their phones. Not in my head. My phone wouldn't stop vibrating. It buzzed so hard it rolled halfway across the nightstand before I finally picked it up. 52 missed calls, 27 voicemails, texts from numbers I didn't recognize, people borrowing each other's phones just to reach me. And all I'd done was say no. I scrolled through the call log. Mom, 18 calls Tara. 22 calls Dad, 8 calls Aunt Linda, 4 calls 2 cousins, apparently drafted for emotional backup. I put the phone down and stared at the ceiling. Not one of them had asked what happened. Not one of them had asked if I was okay. Just noise. Demanding, frantic, entitled noise. I hit play on the first voicemail. Mom's voice filled the room. June, call me back, right now. Second voicemail. Tara, are you seriously ignoring me? Grow up. Third, Mom again. This is ridiculous. You're being childish. Call me. Fourth, Dad. Your mother is upset. Call her back. Then guilt, manipulation, veiled threats masked as concern. Family helps family, June. Always. Tara might lose her car because of you. Grandma would be ashamed. This isn't how you were raised. We're sorry. Just call us back and help her. Sorry. Not we were wrong. Not you've helped enough. Just sorry as currency. an admission designed to get me to pay Tara's insurance, a transaction masquerading as remorse. Then the texts started flooding in. I hadn't blocked Tara's iMessage, just her calls, so her texts still came through. The latest was a screenshot of her insurance bill, $840 due in 5 days. Below it, she wrote, "So you're just gonna let me lose my car? Not I messed up. Not I should have planned better. Not I need to pick up extra shifts. Just blame. Just assumption. Just the expectation that her problems were mine to solve." I set the phone on this kitchen counter and stared at it like it was a grenade. Because in my family, silence was violence. Silence meant rebellion. Silence meant I was the problem. My phone buzzed again. This time a text from Aunt Linda, the one relative who didn't weaponize guilt like a professional sport. "June, honey, your mom is freaking out. What happened?" I didn't answer. Not yet. The flying monkeys arrive. By noon, the extended family had joined the circus. Cousin Jennifer, "Hey, stranger, heard there's drama. Want to grab coffee?" Uncle Mike, "Your mom said you're going through something. I'm here if you need to talk." A cousin I barely remembered. Family is forever. Don't let pride ruin this. Every message had the same formula. Fake concern, gentle guilt, the pivot. Maybe just hear them out. I ignored everyone. Aunt Linda calls. By day 3, my phone rang again. Another unfamiliar number. This time, I answered. "Don't hang up," Aunt Linda said immediately. "I'm not calling to guilt you." I exhaled. "Okay." "I just want you to know," she said. "I told your mother she was wrong." I sat down. "She gave you an ultimatum. That was manipulative. That wasn't love." My throat tightened. "How did she take that?" "She cried," Linda said. "Said I was taking your side. Said Tara needs help." "Tara needs consequences," I muttered. "I told her that," Linda said. She didn't like it. Silence stretched between us for a moment. Then she sighed. "And June, your mom is planning something. She's invited the entire family this Sunday." My heart thumped. What kind of something? An intervention. The word dropped like a stone. "She wants everyone there to pressure you. She expects you to show up." "Yeah," I said. "I'm not going." "I know you're not. I just wanted to warn you, in case they show up at your house instead." "Because my mother absolutely would." "Thank you," I whispered. "I'm proud of you, June," she said softly. "You finally set a boundary." My chest tightened. That was the first time anyone had said that to me. Intervention Day. On Sunday, I turned off my phone, bought a movie ticket, and sat through a 2-hour film with blissful silence. When I turned my phone back on, 16 new messages. Cousin Sarah, "That was awkward. Your mom cried, Tara ranted, your dad said nothing." Uncle Mike, "They're worried about you. Why didn't you come?" Mom from an unknown number, "We're all waiting. Please come." Waiting. As if I were the disruptive element, not the ultimatum, not the 10 years of bailing Tara out, not the manipulations. Just me, the absence of my compliance. And then it happened. Monday morning at 7 a.m., a text arrived from a number I didn't recognize. A photo. Tara's bright red Dodge Challenger, loaded onto a tow truck. Below it, "Hope you're happy. They repossessed it." I zoomed in. That was her car, all right. I felt nothing. No guilt, no triumph. Just a simple neutral fact. She bought a car she couldn't afford, and now she lost it. Within minutes, messages flooded in again. "Tara lost her car because of you. Now she can't get to work. Family helps family, June. Are you proud of yourself?" Not one message said, "Tara shouldn't have bought a $42,000 car. Tara should have budgeted. Tara should get more hours. Tara made a choice." No. The villain was me, the one who had said no after saying yes for a decade. I blocked each new number as fast as they appeared. By Thursday, the calls slowed. By Friday, almost none. They weren't giving up. They were regrouping. The storm always comes in cycles. Thanksgiving approaches. Thanksgiving week rolled in cold and quiet. One evening, Aunt Linda called again. "Quick update," she said. "Tara moved back in with your parents." That didn't surprise me. "She quit her job," Linda continued. "Says she'll find something closer." "She quit?" I laughed, disbelieving. "She couldn't get to work without the car," Linda sighed. "And she didn't want to pay Uber." Of course. "What about Mom and Dad?" I asked quietly. "They're struggling," Linda said. "Financially. Tara isn't contributing to anything." I closed my eyes. That house had always been a sinking ship. Tara just added more holes. "I'm telling you this," Linda said gently, "because soon your mom may ask you for money. Not for Tara. She'll say it's for groceries or utilities." I swallowed hard. "I'm not giving her money," I said. "Good," Linda replied. "Don't." Thanksgiving Day. I spent Thanksgiving alone. Ordered Chinese food. Watched football. Curled up under a blanket in total peace. No guilt trips. No Tara meltdown. No mom sighing loudly between bites. No dad pretending everything was fine. Just quiet. Just mine. Around 6 p.m., Aunt Linda texted. Dinner was tense. Tara complained nonstop. Your mom was dramatic. Your dad looked miserable. Uncle Mike asked about you. Your mom didn't like my answer. I smiled to myself. Not out of spite, out of relief. Relief that, for once, I wasn't cleaning the emotional mess on aisle 5. I texted back. Thanks for the update. Anytime, she replied. I saved you pie. I'll drop it off tomorrow. I put my phone down and breathed in the soft, warm quiet of my house. For the first time in years, I felt something unfamiliar, something dangerous, something addictive. Peace. The week after Thanksgiving was quiet in a way that felt unnatural, like the world was holding its breath, waiting for something to snap. For the first time in years, no one in my family was calling me with a crisis, an emergency, a bill they just needed help with. The silence should have felt like abandonment. Instead, it felt like oxygen. But silence doesn't last in my family. Not when there are holidays to weaponize. Mom's Christmas ambush begins. On December 1st, I got an email from a new address. Subject line, Christmas Eve dinner. I opened it, already bracing myself. June, Christmas Eve is our 32-year family tradition. Your father and I are hosting like always. Whatever you're angry about, Christmas isn't the place to fight. Tara will be here. Aunt Linda, Uncle Mike, the cousins. We would like you to be here too. Families forgive. Families move forward. Please come. Mom. I read that email twice, then a third time. There it was, that subtle rewriting of history. Whatever you're angry about, as though the ultimatum hadn't happened, as though the harm was imaginary, as though I was being dramatic. I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded it to Aunt Linda. She responded in 2 minutes. Do not go. She's trying to guilt you with tradition, not love. I wrote back. I'm not going. Good. I'll bring leftovers again. Dad reaches out, quietly. 2 days later, I got a text from another unknown number. June, it's Dad, using a friend's phone. Can we talk? I stared at the screen. Dad rarely called me. Dad rarely called anyone. I dialed the number. He picked up on the first ring. June, he said, voice low. Thank you for calling. What's going on, Dad? Silence. A breath. Then, I'm sorry. I froze. I should have spoken up at dinner, he said. When your mother gave you that ultimatum, I should have said it wasn't fair, that you had every right to say no, but I didn't. You didn't, I said quietly. I know, he said, the shame thick in his voice, and I'm ashamed of that. Another breath. Your mom has a blind spot with Tara, always has. She can't see the enabling. I have, for years, but I chose peace over truth. I shut my eyes. Then you let her exclude me? Yes, he whispered, and I'm sorry. My throat tightened. This was real, a real apology, not guilt, not emotional manipulation. Actual accountability. Dad, I said slowly, I'm not ready to come back. I know, he said, I'm not asking you to. I miss my daughter. And I'm tired of choosing peace with your mother at the cost of losing you. My chest cracked open a little. Not enough to forgive everything, but enough to feel something. Maybe we can talk sometimes, I whispered. I'd like that, he said softly. Tara's world cracks further. A week later, as Christmas lights filled the neighborhood and carolers appeared like seasonal invaders, I got another unknown text. Sean left me. I blinked. Sean, her boyfriend, had been one of the only stability points she had left. Another message followed. It's your fault. If I had the car, I'd still have him. I didn't answer. 5 minutes later, Aunt Linda called. Just talk to your parents, she said. Sean broke up with her. What happened? I asked. He said he couldn't be with someone who refused to grow, someone who expected everyone else to rescue her. He told your parents that directly. My stomach dropped. And how did Mom take that? She said Sean didn't understand Tara, that she's going through something. Of course she did. And Tara? I asked. She's spiraling, blaming you, saying if you'd helped her with the insurance, none of this would have happened. I closed my eyes. There it was again. Not accountability. Narrative. The story she tells herself to avoid dealing with consequences. Mom begs, but not for me. On December 10th, Mom emailed again. It was longer this time, more frantic. June, your father and I want the whole family here for Christmas Eve. Tara's having a very difficult time. She needs her sister. You're still angry, but families put that aside for the holidays. Don't ruin Christmas. Mom, don't ruin Christmas. Translation, comply, or you're the villain. I deleted it. Dad calls again and breaks the cycle. On December 15th, Dad called again from another borrowed phone. Your mother's struggling, he said. Financially, emotionally. Tara isn't working. The house bills are piling up. I stayed silent. He continued. She wants to help Tara get another car. She wants me to co-sign a loan. I inhaled sharply. Dad, she can't afford a car. I know, he said. She won't hear it. Are you going to let her drag you into debt? I asked. Long silence. Then, no, I won't. I told her I'm not co-signing. She's furious, but I have to protect myself. I pressed a hand over my heart. Dad, I whispered, that took courage. I learned it from you, he said quietly. I had to sit down after that. Tara's meltdown, sent to me in waves. On December 22nd, I got a cascade of messages from random emails and numbers. You destroyed my life. Sean left because of you. You could have fixed everything. I hope you're happy. I blocked the numbers as fast as they came. Every message was the same. Rewrite the truth, blame June, avoid responsibility. But I felt nothing. No guilt, no anger. Just distance. Distance I had needed for 10 years. Christmas Eve arrives. I spent it alone. Soft music, a small dinner, a glass of wine, a Christmas movie. Peace. My phone didn't ring once. Not one last guilt trip. Not one, we need you. Not one, you're tearing us apart. Around 8 p.m., Aunt Linda called. How's your evening? She asked. Peaceful, I said. Hallelujah, she muttered. Dinner here was tense. I smiled. Tell me. Tara's sulking. Your mom keeps sighing like she's auditioning for a tragedy. Your dad looks like he wants to disappear into the mashed potatoes. And Uncle Mike asked about you 3 times. What did you tell them? That you're spending the holiday the way you choose, which is exactly what you should do. I smiled into my wine. For the first time in years, I felt steady. Stable. Whole. And then, a crack in the wall. 2 days after Christmas, my phone buzzed with a message request on social media. Tara. I stared at the notification for a long time before opening it. June, I'm moving out next week. Found a roommate. The apartment is crappy, but it's mine. I know you're still mad. I'm still mad too. But I get it now, I think. Why you said no. Why you stopped helping. I was a mess. I still kind of am, but I'm trying. Paying bills. Learning how much everything costs. It sucks, but it's my life. I'm not asking for forgiveness. Just wanted you to know I'm trying. Tara. I read it 3 times. Not perfect, still tinged with resentment, but real, raw, human. I typed a response. Deleted it. Typed again. Finally sent. Good luck with the apartment. Proud of you for trying. She responded immediately. Thanks. 1 word, but it felt like a beginning, not a reunion, not forgiveness. Just a beginning. The New Year. December 31st, I sat on my couch with a blanket, holding a mug of tea, watching the fireworks outside my window. At midnight, my phone buzzed. Aunt Linda. Happy New Year. Proud of you for choosing yourself. Then, Dad. Happy New Year, June. I didn't co-sign the loan. Your mother is furious. But thank you. I needed the courage. I stared at that message for a long time. I texted back. Proud of you, Dad. He replied. I learned it from you. I set my phone down and looked out at the cold, glittering world outside. A year ago, I was the family's crisis manager, problem solver, financial safety net, emotional sponge. Now, I was just June Coughlin, choosing myself. And that felt like enough. Winter melted into spring before I realized how much time had passed. For the first time in my adult life, the calendar wasn't filled with family obligations. No birthday dinners where Tara expected a gift she hadn't earned. No holiday preparations where Mom assigned me half the menu because you're so responsible. No frantic calls about overdue bills I was supposed to magically resolve. My life was mine. Quiet, steady, predictable in the gentlest way. And I didn't realize how exhausted I'd been until the exhaustion finally lifted. A promotion, celebrated alone, peacefully. In March, my manager called me into his office. June, he said, smiling, how do you feel about becoming senior project lead? A promotion, a $15,000 raise. I congratulated myself quietly. I didn't have to call home and have Mom say, "Oh, that's nice," before immediately shifting the conversation to Tara's latest meltdown. That night, I treated myself to a nice dinner, alone, intentionally. Good food, good wine, and nobody making it about them. Later, as I walked to my car under warm streetlights, my boyfriend Eric texted, "Congratulations again. Proud of you. You earned every bit of it." It was the kind of support that didn't demand anything, didn't drain me, didn't turn my accomplishments into someone else's crisis. Refreshing didn't even begin to cover it. Dad's quiet check-ins. Every few weeks, Dad would call from his own phone now. Mom had stopped policing it since their argument about the loan. "How's work?" he'd ask. "How are you feeling? Are you sleeping okay?" It was small talk, simple, but it was his reaching out, not Mom's management disguised as concern. Sometimes something real slipped out. In April, he said, Tara got a job, warehouse shift, nights. That's good, I said genuinely. She hates it, he added. Complains constantly, but she's been there 6 weeks now. Longest she's kept any job since college. I leaned back in my chair. Baby steps, I murmured. Dad sighed. Your mother tried to convince her to quit last week. Said the hours were beneath her. And you? I asked. I told her to stop, that Tara needs to work. She and I fought about it, badly. I blinked. Dad and Mom didn't fight. Dad avoided conflict like it was an allergic reaction. You fought for Tara's independence? I asked. No, he said quietly. I fought for mine, and yours. I'm tired of being dragged into her crises. My chest tightened with something like pride. Aunt Linda arrives with coffee. By May, the weather warmed and everything felt lighter. One Saturday morning, Aunt Linda showed up unannounced with 2 iced coffees. We sat on my porch, legs tucked under blankets despite the heat. Your mom asks about you every time I see her, she said. I raised an eyebrow. What does she ask? How you're doing, if you're happy, if you mention her. I snorted softly. She must hate your answers. Linda took a sip of her coffee. I tell her the truth, she said. That you're doing great. That you seem happier than I've seen you in a decade. That word, happier, sat warm in my chest like sunlight. She's struggling with that, Linda added. Why? Because it means she can't rewrite the narrative. You didn't fall apart without them. That bothers her. She expected your boundary to collapse, but it didn't. I looked at my hands. Well, I'm not going back to being the family's emotional janitor. Good, Linda said. You shouldn't. Then she sighed. Your mother, she's changing, a little. Slowly, very slowly. How? I asked cautiously. She's starting therapy. I almost dropped my coffee. Mom, therapy? I know, Linda said. Your father practically dragged her to it. Well, as much as he can drag anyone anywhere. I sat there in stunned silence. Mom. Therapy. Words I never thought I'd hear in one sentence. That's actually good, I whispered. It is, Linda nodded. It won't fix everything, but it's a start. The email I never expected. Early June, an email arrived from Mom. No guilt, no manipulation, no demands. Just this. June, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I need to say something. I was wrong. Not about everything. I still believe in family helping family, but I was wrong about how I treated you. I was wrong to give you that ultimatum. Wrong to expect you to fix Tara's problems. Wrong to overlook how unfair it was to you. Your father told me about your promotion. I'm proud of you. I should have said that more often. Instead, I focused on Tara's struggles and expected you to carry the weight. I'm trying to understand that now. I'm sorry. Mom? I read it 5 times. Then I surprised myself by crying. Not because I forgave her, not because everything was healed, but because for the first time in my life, Mom saw something, really saw it. I didn't forgive her, but I replied, Thank you for the apology. I'm not ready for family dinners, but we can meet for coffee, just the 2 of us. She wrote back in less than an hour. Whenever you're ready. Coffee with Mom. 3 weeks later, we met at a small cafe halfway between our houses. Mom looked older than I remembered. Tired. Human. We sat, ordered coffee, stirred it silently. Thank you for meeting me, she said. You're welcome. You look good, she said. Happy. I nodded. I am. She swallowed hard. Your father told me a lot about how much we leaned on you, how much pressure we put on you. I didn't see it then. I'm starting to see it now. I didn't speak. I waited. Tara depended on you for everything, she said quietly, and I let her. I let you become her safety net, then resented you when you stepped away. My eyes burned. Mom blinked rapidly. I don't know how to help her without fixing things for her. I don't know how to be different. You start by letting her struggle, I said gently, by letting her fail, by not rescuing her. Mom nodded, tears falling. I'm trying. I know, I whispered. We didn't hug at the end, but she touched my hand on the table. It was enough. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation. Just movement. Tara moves out and faces reality. In July, Dad called. Tara's moving out, he said. I sat up. Really? Yes, tiny apartment across town. She has a roommate. She'll be broke, but she'll be on her own. How's Mom handling it? Not well, he said with a weary laugh, but she's trying. I exhaled slowly. And Tara? She's angry, he said. Still blames you for a lot. Not all of it, but she's trying in her way. Trying, that word again. Slow, painful growth. A message from Tara. In August, another message request appeared. This time I opened it immediately. June, I'm not saying everything's fixed. I'm still mad, but I understand a little better now. I have to pay for my own stuff. I have to budget. I have to work. It sucks, but I guess this is adulthood. I'm not ready to be sisters again, but maybe, someday. Tara. I typed only one sentence. Good luck, I mean that. She replied, thanks. It was enough. 1 year later, it hit me one morning in September. A full year had passed since I blocked my family, since I refused to pay Tara's insurance, since the ultimatum, since the storm. I sat on my porch drinking coffee as the morning sun spilled through the trees. Aunt Linda texted, coffee this week? I have gossip about your mother's therapy group. I laughed, typed back. Absolutely. My phone buzzed again. Dad, dinner next week, just us, my treat? I smiled, typed back, yeah, I'd like that. The family wasn't healed, Tara wasn't transformed, Mom wasn't perfect. But the noise was no longer in my head. It was in their lives where it belonged. And I didn't have to answer. I chose peace. I chose myself. I didn't lose my family. I stopped losing me.